Everyone, myself Ganesh UL, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department, PSITM, Shumoga. In the last class, we have discussed about the part and CPM. There we have discussed about in that particular module on the introduction about project, then project management. We have discussed about how to construct a network, what is meant by the network, and it's about the network diagram, key elements and the key components which are coming in the network diagram, the errors that are possible that will going to come when you are constructing a network diagram, and the rules that we need to remember when you are constructing a network diagram, and we also solved one particular problem. Now in this particular class, lecturing class, we will discuss about some other problems along with critical path analysis. What is meant by critical path, how to find a critical path in a network diagram, and what are the critical path analysis. We will going to discuss all those things in detail. So before that, one particular problem so that we'll be able to brush up how to construct a network diagram is, they have given here construct a network for a project whose activities and their precedent relationship are given in a table. This is the activity, start from A and end at K. There are so many number of activities, and each activity or some of those activities will have some of the precedence relationship. Some of them have some relationship with respect to the previous activities that has been addressed. This activity is being used for some project. When they are executing certain project, they are following this kind of relationship. Our duty is now, by looking this table, we need to construct a network diagram. If you are able to construct a network diagram like this, by looking these activities and procedures, you will able to analyze further. So how to construct a network diagram means we need to remember those rules that we have discussed in the previous class. It should have only one starting node and it should have only one end node. It should not have any multiple nodes, should not be there, because it will have an error. What is that error means? Dangling. It should not have multiple output or multiple input. It should not be there. And looping should not be also there. Looping should not be also there. Dangling should not be there, and loop should not be there. Those errors we should be keep in mind when you are constructing your network. And also one more thing, it should, no arrow should not have what we call this overlink, or another word is cross. No arrow should not cross each other. That means it should not go like a multiplication symbol. So that keeping all those things, crossing a forest should not be there. Keeping all those things in my mind, and also you also have to keep in your mind when you are constructing this one network diagram when you are in the examination also. And better to do this particular network diagram first, practice with respect to pencil. Once you are familiarizing how to construct this network diagram, you can later use your pen. So with respect to this particular table, it will have three activities, namely A, B, C, which does not have any precedence. So all of them are starting at a common node, since it does not have any precedence. So for that reason, if you are observing in this diagram, A, B, C have been represented in such a way that it does not have any precedence. That means before these three activity starts, there is no other activity behind this one. And for all this A, B, C, we have used a common node, that is 1, starting node 1 as an input node. And node 1 is a common input node for the activity A, activity B, and activity C. They will all end at their different nodes. Node 2 is an endpoint for an activity A, node 3 is an endpoint for an activity B, node 4 is an endpoint for activity C. After completing ABC, now we need to observe carefully. I need to represent another activity called D. For that, there is a relationship. If you want to represent an activity D, you should have to complete first activity A. So that was shown here. This is the activity D that was completed, and it was carried out only one A is been completed. That means the end of the activity A will be the node 2. That will be the starting point for activity D. And this activity D will have its end point or the end node or end event exactly at 5. Then activity E and activity F, both of them have common precedence relationship B. So that means there should have a burst. That means two activities will going to emerge from the activity B. Once the activity B is completed, this is the activity B that has been completed exactly at node 3. From there we have burst event. That means two activities will going to emerge. The activity name of them are E and F. This is the activity E and this is activity F. And activity E will going to end up at activity 6. Activity E will going to end up at node 6. Activity E will end up at node 6 and activity F will going to end up at node 7. Then if you observe for the next activity called G, next activity is G. This is the activity G, which is having a precedence called C. That means at the end of node 4 it will be beginning for activity G. Whatever the activity C is, it will end at 4. That will be the beginning for the activity G. So if you are observing, you try to make a merge event here. Activity F and G we are merging. Why we are merging means, for K to start it should have precedence as F and G. For that reason we are merging. If you are not merging, if you forget means you should have to introduce dummy. So for that reason, unnecessary introduction of a dummy variable or a dummy arrow means it's a error. So we need to be careful whether a dummy arrow is required or not. In this case it is not required. If I want to start an activity K like this, I need to be careful. F and G has to make some merge event if it is possible. So here it is possible. F and G, they are merging at node 7. That is the end point. From there K activity will going to have a beginning point, node 7, and it will end at node 9. Similarly, for activity J also, H and I, that means H and I has to merge. If H and I, if they are merging, then only it is possible to start this activity J. H and I are merging at node 8. From there node 8 activity J will go to start, and JK are merging at the end point of the node, that is 9 node or the 9 event. That means this will be the starting point, this will be the end point. If you are observing all the arrow marks, they are moving from left to right with respect to the directions. And also if you are observing, none of the node numbering or event numbering are not repetitive. You should not use the same node again and again. And there is no looping. Looping is also not done here. Dangling is also not done. Looping is not done. Dummy is not been introduced. That means there is no dotted arrow. There is no looping of arrows. There is no multiple inputs or multiple outputs. Multiple input node. Here we have only common input node. This is the common output node. That should be there in your construction of the network diagram. Once you have constructed your network diagram, you have to carefully observe that one carefully. That is with respect to numbering of this node number or event number, representation of the activity, their precedence relationship, For activity D, the precedence A, for activity E, precedence B, for activity F, precedence B, for activity G, precedence A. We need to look it carefully. Then dummy activity, we should look after for that one carefully. Unnecessary introduction should be avoided. Multiple inputs, multiple outputs should be avoided. Looping should be avoided. Whether that you all followed that when you are constructed a network diagram, you need to observe it carefully. So once you have done keeping all that in mind, it will be finished in your network diagram. You have completed that particular topic. So once you are able to construct a network diagram, then we will going to observe here one more thing. So this will be the starting point in the project, and this will be the end point of the project. So if you are observing, you are following the network diagram is following some path. This is one path. A, D, H, I is one path. Similarly, if you are observing the direction of the arrow mark, B, E, I, J is another path. B, E, I, J. One more path is B, F, K. That is one more path. The another path is C, G, K. That means there are multiple paths are there. So you need to know how to identify these paths. We need to have to practice with respect to more number of this network diagram. We need to practice with respect to the identification of the path first. Then out of those paths, we need to know how to calculate the critical path. The next topic comes, there is the critical path. So before going for that one, there has been one more problem in constructing of your network diagram. So this is the problem that has been given. By looking this, we need to construct your network diagram. So there are totally 6 activities are there, and activities have been followed by some relationship. In that relationship, A and B does not have any relationship. C will start only when A is finished. D starts only when B is finished. E will going to start only when both C and D has been finished. When both C and D finished, then only activity E will going to start. Then activity F will going to start only when E is finished. Keeping this in mind, we need to construct the network diagram. That has been already done. This is the thing. AB is the activity which does not have any precedence, and this will be the starting point, common node point. Activity C will going to start after A. That has been done. Activity D will start when B is been completed. Activity E has been started when both C and D has been completed. Here C and D has been merged and activity E has been started. Activity F will start only when E is been completed. This is the network diagram. You need to construct this one cleanly, neatly. Representation also should be very important in your examination. Represent it as much as neat. Means numbering, arrow mark, direction of the arrow mark from left to right. Exactly at the center of the arrow, you need to represent the activity name. So those things you need to follow carefully. Once you are familiarized with respect to constructing network diagram, try with respect to pen, using your pen. Until up to that, try practice with in pencil only. So as I told, if you are constructing a network diagram, it will have two types, based on activity on arrow or an activity on node. That means representing the activity, that is A, B, C, D. If you are concerned, those are the activity. They are representing exactly at the arrow center. This is the arrow represented exactly at the center, arrow at the center, or else they have been represented exactly at the node point itself. Activity A, activity B, activity C, activity D, activity E, activity F, exactly at the load. Most of the cases we can follow this one. We are going to follow this one. When you have letters A, B, C, D, E, F, means we try to follow this method, that is activity and arrow. Then the next topic is critical path analysis. I have been telling in the previous examples what are the different paths that are available in the network diagram. We need to analyze that one. From that, Based on the time duration to complete for each activity, we need to calculate critical path, and the activities which are lying on the critical path will be called as critical activity. Those activities which are coming on the critical path will be called as critical activities. Other activities will be called as non-critical activities. So first, for the simplest problem, they have represented this simplest problem. So they have followed that this particular concept. What is this particular concept? Activity on node. The same thing holds good for the activity on arrow. The same thing holds good for the activity on arrow. Now they are addressing with respect to activity on node by taking an example, activity on node. This is an example for activity on node. Activity A, B, C, D, E, F. So what is the time duration that has been written here? 5 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. That has been addressed here. So first we need to identify here for the how many number of paths that are available. So input is this one, output is this one. So the number of routes are A, B, D, F. A, B, D, F. That is the center one. Next one A, B, E, F. A, B, E, F. A, B, F. That is the top one. Next one A, C, E, F. A, C, E, F. That means we need to simply follow with respect to the direction of the arrows. If we follow with respect to direction of the arrows, it will be finished. Now when you are following with respect to the direction of the arrows, each activity will consume some amount of time. If you keep on add them, we are going to get the what is the total duration that particular path will going to consumed, we are going to find out. For example, this particular path will have time consumption here 5, time consumption here 2, time consumption here 3. Its cumulative will going to become 5 plus 2, 2 plus 3 means 10. That means A, B, D, F will going to consume 10. It been addressed with respect to weeks. So that means A, B, D, F will going to consume 10 weeks. Similarly, if you try with respect to other direction, A, B, E, F. A, B, E, F. Each activity consumes there that amount will be given amount of time that is spent on each activity. That means 5 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks. That means its cumulative will going to become 8 plus 6, 14 weeks. Another activity A, C, E, F. It will going to consume 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 6 12. That means it will going to consume 12 weeks. So when you are compared with respect to these three, the maximum one will going to become 14 weeks. That will be called as a critical path. So the critical path here is A, B, E, F. The critical activities are A is a critical activity, B is a critical activity, E is a critical activity, F is a critical activity. Together it will be called as a critical path. And a critical path that has been here shown by a darked line. But for other problems when you are practicing, you need to differentiate these arrows with respect to the remaining arrows. How we need to differentiate means show double arrow. So here they have shown only one arrow, means you need to draw one more arrow. We need to draw one more arrow. We need to draw one more arrow. So that double arrow indicates it's a critical path direction. So that we need to identify in a particular problem, and we need to estimate what is the time that it will going to consumes in a critical path. It should be always the longest time or the highest time that it will going to take when compared with respect to the remaining or non-critical path. So the non-critical path here it will going to be consumed by only 12 weeks, and this non-critical path will going to consume 10 weeks, and this is the critical path consumes 14 weeks with critical activities A, B, E, F. So thank you. I hope you have understood.